What is AV over IP all about? Well, we know that it means transporting audio, video, and control over an IP network, right? But what does it really mean to us? AV over IP is really more about how the AV industry fits into the Internet of Things, isn't it? In today's world, everything and everyone is connected. In order to keep up with the times, we need our systems to be fully connected to meet this demand. So how does this change the way we design systems for today and for the future? And how do we make AV systems smart so we can stay relevant in today's world?
Well, today we'll take a look at AV over IP, and we'll distinguish between the facts and the many misconceptions that our industry has about distributing AV signals in today's connected world. I'm Clay Stalka.
And I'm Neil Weber, and we have a lot of ground to cover today. And we'll give you some additional resources that can help you better understand the AV over IP revolution as well. But I think it might be best to start at the beginning and actually define AV over IP and what it is, and more importantly, what it isn't.
That's a novel idea, Neil, and you might want to turn off that electric shaver.
Sorry, I'm nostalgic for the Norelco ads at Christmas time. So the term AV over IP is thrown around a lot. We started focusing on it back at InfoComm 2014, so we've been talking AV over IP for about 3 years now. Maybe you got one of those coveted t-shirts that we were giving away at the show. But anyway, AV over IP is about sending uncompressed audio and video information over standard IP networks. Digging a little deeper, it can also mean encoding the sources and streaming the content with some compression to reduce bit rate over IP networks too. But ultimately, it means providing extension and switching of video and audio sources over standard IP networks.
Well, that means, inputs and outputs can go anywhere and everywhere that we're connected. Now, I know it's a little difficult to wrap your head around because, we all come from an AV industry where we always had to pull a cable for every input and for every output. But, this changes all that. Sources can be any type, and there can be any number of them, including PCs, video cameras, media players, satellite and cable boxes, and so much more. And the destinations can be any type and any number of them, including decoders connected to displays in huddle rooms and public spaces, video wall controllers, PCs, and even mobile devices like tablets and smartphones.
And the real beauty of it is that there's so many ways to meet the needs of our customers now. IP offers a standardized infrastructure that we can utilize to distribute audio and video that actually works for us. That's because the end user's application will always determine the network requirements for image quality, bandwidth, and latency. This way we don't need to have those uncomfortable meetings with IT directors where we try to dictate network requirements. With today's AV over IP, your customer's needs pre-establish those requirements.
And Neil, I love this graphic because it shows how we can use 35% less bandwidth than DVD quality MPEG-2 and even 25% less bandwidth than HDTV quality H.264 by transporting HD video over H.265, or as they're calling it now, HEVC encoded streams. Now that's less than 7 megabits per second for full 1080p video, as you can see in this graph.
Yikes. That really does make network video much more practical now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Now, there's always trade-offs when you're using compressed video, and I think you need to know about this. The penalty you pay with any compression format is latency. Oh, and of course, compression always leaves some artifact in the image quality, but it's gotten so much better. But latency is the big thing. Now, you might actually have, say, a half-second delay. So this is not the path to take if you're doing IMAG in the same room, or if you're trying to annotate on a screen, for instance. H.265 is best for those long-haul delivery applications, or I guess I would say, in other words, not in the same room as the source.
If you have more available bandwidth and you want better quality video, there are other codecs that will fit the bill, like JPEG 2000 and TCO, to name a couple. This offers very low latency and virtually lossless quality, and it can now be delivered over gigabit and 10 gigabit networks. Now, Visionary Solutions offers one of these solutions with their E4000 encoder and the D4000 decoder. Did you see what I did there, Clay, with the E and the D?
I did.
With these, you can transport up to a full 4K UHD video in near uncompressed quality, and that's over a standard gigabit link. And it gives you extremely low latency and stunning quality at an unbelievably low cost.
Yeah, it really does. And here you're not going to fit a 4K stream on a busy corporate network link, of course. But over its own branch, you can easily make it work using standard off-the-shelf gigabit switches and cat cable. Now, this is something that previously would have required at least a 10 gigabit pipe just a few years ago.
And if you want to add Dante audio with that distributed video, Visionary Solutions offers their new Packet AV Duet. Same 4K UHD video over a gigabit VLAN using gigabit switches like Clay said.
You know, one of the things that's neat is it lets you design a system simply by just putting in an encoder for every source and a decoder for every display. You can also do basic video walls with the software that Visionary Solutions provides free along with their products.
But it's not just about connecting some CAT cables and calling it done. You still need to look out for technologies that use CAT cables to transmit AV information via proprietary hardware and/or proprietary switching. You know, like HDBaseT, for example. These proprietary technologies have limits where real deal AV over IP is effectively limitless in its ability to be multicast and sent over LAN, WAN, internet, wireless, and so forth, regardless of distance.
And when standard IP networks and standard IP protocol transmission are used, audio-visual information can travel as freely as computer data, with all the same management tools, permissions for stream access, and of course the security protocols that are likely already being used on the enterprise network.
Another product family that's fully embraced the AV over IP revolution is NEATS. Now, I know many of you took advantage of our Test the Tango opportunity, and you're incorporating NEATS into your room designs now. One of the "you asked for it" products has now arrived. It's the new NEATS Touch Panel. It's really cool. The NEATS Touch Panel, it's new, beautifully designed. It's a 7-inch touch panel display that's designed to work seamlessly with the NEATS Tango room controller. And as a wall-mounted panel, it fits right on a standard 1-gang wall box and wirelessly connects to the network to communicate with the NEATS network controllers, including the Tango. Plus, NEATS offers an optional table stand that makes it a freestanding touch panel controller for the conference room table. And for a limited time, we're offering the NEATS Touch and Tango bundle for a special price. So, while you're embracing AV over IP, you can put your room control system on the IP network as well with NEATS.
Now, we told you we were going to give you some resources to learn more about AV over IP technologies. So, we want to introduce you to a series of online tutorials that we put together just for you. And they're hosted by Professor Phil Hippenstiel from Penn State University.
Yeah, they are very good, and they're free. We've already paid Professor Phil. You just go to Starin's AV over IP portal at the address that Clay is showing you here, and choose on-demand videos. Then you can learn the facts behind AV over IP from one of the most highly regarded authorities in the industry. Now, we are offering 5 online video sessions with Professor Phil that takes the mystery out of exactly how AV works on the network. It'll help you feel more comfortable talking with IT professionals. It'll make designing network AV systems easier and your life easier. So please take advantage of these great resources available to you absolutely free from your Starin friends. I almost said from your Starin homies.
Yeah, that's right. Well, about the same thing. So in our last coffee break, we talked a little bit to you about advanced network devices. Now, AND makes a phenomenal network notification system for schools and industrial applications that require no head-end equipment and simply hangs endpoints right on the existing enterprise network. Now, AND provides synchronized IP clocks, PoE-powered IP speakers, and digital messaging displays, like you can see here. They allow intercom, paging, visual alerts, and messaging all over the network.
Now, each endpoint acts as though it was a simple SIP device like an IP phone. It can provide scheduled bells and messages configured from any computer on the network. And it's 100% compatible with third-party call manager software like InfoComm by SingleWire, and most of the other popular software packages that are out there as well. So that paging and intercom function, it can be performed from any network phone.
Now, whenever you have a school or an industrial application that requires a notification system, then you can include clocks, messaging, paging, and intercom all in one AVoverIP solution with advanced network devices, only available from Stera.
That's right. So now you're starting to see how most all of the traditional AV systems are moving over to the IP network pretty quickly. And it really keeps you from having to pull a lot of dedicated cable, saving labor and materials, of course. Plus, it allows central management of these systems from anywhere on the network as well.
Well, you're absolutely right about that, Neil. So as I see it, control systems, notification systems, and H.265 video streams make it a no-brainer. You're saving on labor and materials to pull cable by using existing network infrastructure. And if you need high-quality, low-latency video streams, then Neil has your real choice.
That's true. You can use proprietary distance-limited signal extender products like those from Kramer or Extron. You can choose video-specific infrastructures like HDBaseT or Crestron DM, which are designed for high-bandwidth, uncompressed video, but require their own dedicated cable runs and have limited distance capabilities and require separate hardware switching devices. Or you can go unlimited distance with the low latency, high quality switch matrix AVoverIP solution like the Visionary Solutions offering we mentioned earlier. While it may need its own network VLAN with special rules, you can indeed use existing infrastructure and have absolutely no limitation on sources, display devices, or distances.
Now, I really think, you're going to find the flexibility and scalability of switch matrix AVoverIP solutions will be, I think, your very, very best value. It's kind of obvious if you add up all the costs that you would go through to design and pull your own cable infrastructure. So this can be especially true as the system scope becomes larger and larger.
That's for sure. So understanding which compression technologies are used and their relative trade-offs, that's critical to a successful design, right? The three main compression technologies in the Pro AV space are H.264, HEVC H.265, and JPEG 2000. Both can result in a high-quality image, but H.265 optimizes for bandwidth, while the JPEG 2000 optimizes for latency due to much lower processing delay times.
Now, low bandwidth H.264 and HEVC H.265 streams play nicely in almost all network environments, allowing many streams per link and the ability to interoperate on corporate networks. For instance, most web-based video that you'll likely watch uses H.264 compression. It's all commonly, I gotta say, commonly used by streaming cameras and mobile devices, and H.264 streaming solutions in the Pro AV market can frequently interoperate with all those kind of devices. I mean, we've all seen it on YouTube and everything, right? So we know what that's all about. But the cost is in latency, which can easily add up to a half a second of delay in that video stream. So as I said earlier, this makes H.264 great for long-haul applications and overflow rooms, but really not appropriate for those iMag or in-room extensions. And this is especially true when using a mouse and a keyboard, because that lag can become very disconcerting.
Oh yeah. JPEG 2000 solutions are much higher bandwidth, practically saturating a 1 gigabit Ethernet link. As a result, they generally require dedicated network cabling per run, similar to standard uncompressed technologies like HDMI and HDBaseT. But the upside of JPEG 2000 is that it's lower latency than H.264 or H.265, resulting in much less video delay. However, the latency is still higher than uncompressed solutions, so extra care has to be taken to ensure a positive user experience from the in-room applications.
Yes, it does. And latency is additive. So make absolutely sure you take into account delays introduced by other devices as well, like display scalers and maybe video conferencing systems. Also, keep audio and video synchronization in your back of your mind, because humans are very sensitive to video delays with respect to audio. And if you're using a separate audio distribution system, even these little small amounts of video latency will quickly become a problem.
That's right. I basically change the channel when there isn't sync. And I think most people are the same way. There's an important difference between audio over IP or AOIP and audio over Ethernet or AOE. And folks often mistake one from the other. Now, AOIP is a technology category for moving compressed audio over the internet, most commonly used by broadcasters and services like Spotify and Pandora. But it's not practical for professional AV needs because it uses dedicated codecs for data compression, and its subsequent requirement for multiple global hops, that's going to increase the latency significantly too. Now, AOE, on the other hand, is a technology category for moving uncompressed audio across an Ethernet network. Latency here, not an issue, as AOE generally resides within LAN. Additionally, because network AV signals are packets just like other network traffic, they're not as susceptible to interference on the line caused by the proximity of power or other high-frequency cables. And they can be sent anywhere in a building where there's network connectivity without the need to install special cabling or switching hardware.
Now, before you select your products, it's best to understand the scale, the scope, and the expected performance levels from the end user. And by knowing these details early on, you'll be better equipped to understand if they should select a product for use within a room or within a group of rooms, or if it's going to be used across the entire enterprise. Now, understanding the bandwidth requirements, the desired image quality, and the acceptable latency based on the application, it'll all come together to define what product or group of products that will help your customers achieve their system design goals.
So here's some of the questions you should address before selecting AV over IP solutions. How is administration and management handled? Does it come with a system for remote management? How easy is it to install? Does it require networking specialists, or is there an easy way to set it up? Is it a solution meant to be used on a local area network or to send video over the internet? What is the latency? Will I notice any difference from a conventional direct connection system? Is the solution 4K compatible? What type of audio, video, and peripheral signals can be supported, like HDMI, analog audio, RS-232, or USB? And does the system have video wall support?
So, as you can see here today, this is not as difficult as many people make it out to be. It's mostly all about discussing those needs of the end user with your customer and then making informed decisions.
You know, IT is already in control of the facilities we design for. It's only a matter of time until facility management says, get it on the network or get it out of my building.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Obviously, there's a gap between what a network can handle and what a facility-wide AV system needs. But this is temporary. In just another year or two, the connected generation is going to expect a level of connectivity that's difficult to imagine by current standards today, but it's inevitable for all of us. So let's stare and help you become prepared for the future.
So, are any of you going to InfoComm 17 in Orlando? Well, if you are, you gotta come see us inside the main entrance, located, where the buses drop everybody off, right near the food court. Then take an AV selfie inside your very own action figure box for a chance to win some fantastic prizes.
Oh man, this is the thing to do at InfoComm. This is easily the coolest thing we've ever done at an InfoComm show. You might win a vacation for 2 from Apple Vacations to go wherever you want.
Maybe they'll want to visit us in Chesterton, Neil.
Hey, I doubt that. So we're also giving away a bunch of Visa gift cards and some other cool swag too. Now, if you can't join us in person, meaning if you're not going to the show, go to starinheroes.com and enter online.
We really hope to see you there, but either way, enter this contest. You won't regret it.
Yeah, it's going to be a gas, seriously.
So, it's time to give away a $50 gift card for one of our lucky friends who joined us here today, Neil.
I love this part. You know, Clay, in high school, my nickname was Suge White. I don't know if you know that or not. But I think our winner today, I'll bet his nickname is Big Sky, because his last name is a city in Montana, Skip Bozeman. Congratulations for joining us again at an AV Meetup Coffee Break. You were the winner of a $50 gift card.
Congratulations, Skip. And please tell all your friends and coworkers to join us again in 2 weeks at this same time, because we'd hope you would be the next $50 gift card winner.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for giving us your 20 minutes today to learn more about AV over IP. Please remember to go to our new Synergy Center website to get all kinds of resource materials to help you with whatever kind of projects you might be working on. And check back regularly, please. That is, check back regularly, because we're constantly adding to that library of videos, white papers, and timely articles on all things AV.
And please join us again on Friday, June the 16th for our next AV Meetup Coffee Break, when, get this, Neil and I will come to you live from InfoComm 17.
Woo! That's going to be fun. Hey, did you get me a badge for the show, by the way?
Neil, we all got our registrations by email this year.
Uh-oh. For a minute there, I thought maybe I'm not going to get into the show. I'll check.
Yeah, well, maybe they won't let you in anyways.
That's true.
And also remember, you can go to our website to watch all of our AV Meetup sessions on demand.
That's correct. For more information, to set up a demo, or to dive deeper into any of our products with a personalized online workshop, please contact your Starin Business Development Manager directly, or you can always email us here at myteam@starin.biz.
Oh, and Neil, did you remember to make your plane reservations for Orlando?
I'm flying cargo this year just to save a few dollars for the company. Cargo. Carg Bro. Look, our time's up. We do promise to address your questions and interests directly, and it might even be Clay who calls or emails you with your answer. So we'll see you again on Friday, June 16th from the show for our next AV Meetup Coffee Break. God, how are we going to do that? We got to figure out how we're going to do that. Have a great weekend. That's right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
So long, everybody.